Hello everyone, welcome back to the grand finals of ARKNIGHTS Challengers 2. I can't believe we finally made it. Hina, what do you think? We have a grand finals between Yi, representing BK Boy Kissers, and the IRS, showcasing TurtlyP.
For sure. It's been a long journey across 2 days, but we're finally here right before the grand finale. So I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out. I feel it's very interesting. These are two people we have never seen make it so far before. Then again, this is Yi's also first time ever competing in a Challengers Cup. So I guess maybe to no one's surprise, he is making it this far. But, congratulations to them both for making it to the grand finals once and for all, though. So Viper, do you have any ideas, any picks for who's going to win it all?
I don't know. I think it's very tough. Both of these players have been competing on opposite sides of the bracket, so obviously this is where it's very difficult to tell which side has been getting a harder competition if it's roughly the same. TurtlyP has proved that they are an incredible player. Honestly, hats off to that match between TurtlyP and Custard. I felt like Custard honestly had great strategies, but TurtlyP was just a little faster in the draft and a little faster getting into the stage. And so now we see, the IRS coming back after all these tournaments. They've kind of struggled a bit in getting to the finals, but they are finally here. And I'm very excited to see if TurtlyP can represent. And on the other side, of course, we see Boy Kissers, Yi ARKNIGHTS himself. He's been practicing a lot, I've heard. But we'll see. I don't know if he can compete against TurtlyP. Obviously, both of these players were nowhere clear to the top in my predictions. So I don't know. I don't know what can happen. Do you have any thoughts yourself?
Yeah, I think one thing that is very surprising for us is that TurtlyP is actually no stranger to the Challengers series. They were in Challengers #1, but unfortunately they were knocked out by Tobo in the top 32 bracket. So to see them come around so far with Challengers #2 and make it to the final top 2 is a huge turnaround. So big congratulations to TurtlyP and for Yi making it an amazing distance on his first execution ever. So who knows? I think honestly both challengers are very strong this time around, and your power rankings and pick'ems will definitely have to do some adjusting after this, Viper.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll move around some of the seeds. I'm very surprised that it will be a grand finals between the IRS and Boy Kissers. The reigning champions NZK is out, EBA is out, the Mommy Milkies are out, so now we only have 2 teams remaining. Let's actually take a moment and do a deep dive into our top players today. We shall start with the one representing the top of the bracket, TurtlyP from the IRS. TurtlyP, wow, very seasoned player. They've been playing ARKNIGHTS since the very beginning, just off about 2 weeks from the start. They're level 120, 248 operators, and 96 E2s. Honestly, that E2 count across the many players that we have seen, I feel they that's kind of like in the middle. Some players have much more than that, so I feel like that utilization it's there. But I feel like Yi might actually have an advantage in terms of E2s if we look at his stats. But the only thing that Turtly does have under their accolades is that 17th place in Challengers 1. So yes, as you mentioned, Hina, TurtlyP does have a showing in the past. We'll have to see how they do today.
For sure. I think it looks like 96 is also still not a low number at all. That means that they have built a lot, and it also looks like they have been playing pretty much very close to when Global was first launched. So I don't imagine that TurtlyP definitely is missing a lot of built operators at this point. So as expected. And looking over here at Yi, who actually surprisingly started a bit later than TurtlyP, but has 99 E2s, so very similar count to TurtlyP, but just has a few more. And as expected, both of them are level 120 at this point.
Yeah, so I guess I take back a little bit what I just said. They do have very close E2 counts. Yeah, really looking at the numbers, it's very difficult to tell how the players will stack up on top of each other. We've definitely seen players with very similar stress stats, or even stats that look at a disadvantage but still do very well in this tournament. Yi himself, never has won a tournament. This is his first time officially competing in our format, and I think I don't know if he's actually competed in the past in any of the tournaments. So very strong showing for Yi, very strong showing for the Boy Kissers, and you know what? let's see what happens. I'm very excited to bring this down. Just to remind everyone, this will be a best of 5. The format is being converted into a best of 5 for the grand finals. That's how it usually works. So we shall see potentially all of the maps. That would be pretty interesting if it actually goes to a round 5, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, for sure. It would make for great content, wink wink. To our 2 contestants, make sure, to stretch it out for as long as possible. But no, I think it would be really cool to see all 5 maps showcased, since we have seen a lot of fluctuation between all the different rounds as to which maps do like to be picked one another. So I think to see who truly has mastered all 5 maps to the best of their abilities, I think that would be a really cool showcase. But regardless, I'm looking forward to a lot of the results and wish both contestants the best of luck.
Yeah, best of luck to TurtlyP and best of luck to E. We're going to send it back to the casters now for the grand finals. Enjoy, everyone. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, guys, and welcome back to ARKNIGHTS Challenger, and we are here, ladies and gentlemen, after the date that we experienced before the break. We're finally here. It is time for the grand finals, and as Viper said, it is a best of 5. Both TurtlyP and Yi will be battling out for 5 potential games to see who is able to crown themselves the champion of ARKNIGHTS Challengers number 2, taking that spot away from Spitly, and marking their names in history for this tournament.
Yeah, I'm expecting what should be a very exciting match between our grand finalists, as we also return from recovering our brain cell after whatever we saw there. But here we go, we're loaded in here between Yi and TurtlyP. We'll see who gets that first pick. They do remember, they will have that extra map now to maybe strategize around, because this is a best of 5 and not a best of 3. So we'll see if that really affects their strategy, Eddie, as TurtlyP has won the coin toss. So with that advantage of map picks, if necessary, as we'll see what map we load into first, as I feel like we're going to see all of them today, as, oh boy, here we go, NLEX 8.
Starting out strong here for TurtlyP, saying, yo, Boy Kissers, remember your teammate? Remember what happened here? Yeah, no, I remember it too, so we'll start it out. It's the mind games that we're starting out with our first map, but Yi handled it beautifully earlier on up against a Fang, and hopefully we can see that here again. Remember, guys, Yi has strategies. TurtlyP has strategies. I think in the last grand finals we saw complete pure skill coming out from both Spitly as well as, my goodness, I'm forgetting the other finalists that we saw. There you go, exactly. But this time I think it's a duke between 2 strategizers in ARKNIGHTS, which is going to be super fun to watch, as these bans coming in already is looking spicy, because we are seeing Ramonix for the first time here today being banned out by Yi.
Ram and Rosa bans and Sculptor bans. It's like, okay, no, neither side is messing around anymore, I don't think. As we're getting the gamer lean forward, when things get serious, you lean forward in your seat. There's the Chalter ban. It's like, okay, here we go. This is gonna get interesting now. We're gonna see what strategies you have. Like any last little strategies you got hidden up a sleeve of yours. I mean, you see the doctors, they got really long sleeves. So whatever little strategies you got hidden up, now is the chance to bust them all out, because you're not gonna see this map again this tournament.
Yeah, and look at the predictions, Wookie. The point total is going crazy right now. These two have so many backers behind them that the pressure, it has to be honestly surmounting so much. Tamimi going to be banned out here by Yi. I'm not sure if that's an actual serious ban or not, but everything else looking super solid so far, right? Xu getting banned out here by TurtlyP, so the consistent damage going to be taken out. Swire doing the fray, so TurtlyP's like, you ban something funny, I'll ban something funny. Two can play that game.
Somehow Tamimi and Swire are getting banned a little more than Wienars from these two, I feel like, at this point. But that is a spot ban. So we're like halfway into fun, and then we went halfway back into I don't know what's going on anymore with these. Some of these bans, I'm pretty sure Spot and Beagle are not part of anyone's NLEX 8 strategies. Unless there's some really hidden mechanic that I don't know of.
Surely Tamimi is the real MVP of NLEX 8 here, but we are also going to be seeing Ceylon being banned. Surely there's too much water in this stage for her to be super successful in this one.
Too much water? I mean, it's like, oh man, neither water tower operator being allowed here with Chalter and Ceylon, now that I think about it, if you look at that. As we're about to load in here with the draft phase, and we'll see what strats they got going here. I wonder how much Turtley is going to be effective with maybe the one meta ban, but I'm not expecting too much of like the Chalter ban doing too much. So we'll see. It's going to be a meta showdown here, minus the Sculptor and maybe the Rosa. But all the slows and lockdown options are available.
If anything, I think Turtley might be hurt more by the fact that Yi has more off-meta bans than himself. But that is a story for another time. Yi and Turtley, ladies and gentlemen, the grand finals are a go. A best of 5. We could potentially see every single map in the pool being played here tonight during the grand finals. It all comes down to these two players. Give it up for BK Yi, Boy Kissers Yi, and IRS Turtley, as they are going to start going in towards NLEX8 exactly at the same time.
Yi with the faster click, but I think Turtley with the faster PC diff, as Turtley getting the setup initially with the flag pipe. Unsurprisingly, Texas Alter and Moon are both available. I mean, look at the amount of slow and lockdown that Turtley has versus Yi, who has a bit less lockdown, but the Cian being brought out. Remember, Cian can do reveals, so it gives Yi a lot more options to kill Blood Knight, maybe not necessarily in the spawn box. Chonya going to work on the side of Yi, Blaze going to work on the side of Turtley.
Who has more burst towards the top side later down the road, right? Because we can't count out Blaze's total attack count either. Whereas Chongyue, as long as his skill timings are absolutely correct, he's gonna burst down the living crap out of those topside enemies towards the end. So it all comes down to who can actually kill the enemies faster, but Yi has to reset here. A crucial mistake coming in the first map, but that's okay. Remember, it is a best of 5. You can toss away NLEXA, which seems to be the the bane of all of our Boy Kissers members today for some reason. I don't know why that's the case here tonight, but we are going to see a reset here. Turtley with the lead here in NLEX8, and this should theoretically be a good round going towards Turtley for a 1-0 start in the best of 5 grand finals.
Yeah, I see all the fragiles and lockdowns set up on the side of Turtley. That Silac is ready to go, as Blood Knight has invuln phases coming off. Gladia goes down though. I'm not sure if that was expected.
Ooh.
As well, the damage is still going to come through with that Saria lockdown, as the Blood Knight is going down there, and there we go. We're about 7 kills left from Turtley being able to take the map, because Yi did have to go for that reset. Like you said, I don't know what it is with Team Boy Kissers and NLEXA, but that map has been giving them all sorts of trouble. Last 5 enemies outside of TurtlyP here.
This map here for Yi, we'll consider it that way. Just get the Mind Break map out of the way, at least in the early portions of the stages here. Turtley just doing a little bit of a favor for Yi in this case. So a 1-0 advantage going towards Turtley. Well done on clearing Blood Knight in a very, very convincing fashion. And we'll have to see what Yi is going to take for the second stage. They need to bounce back if we want to go for a really solid series for the grand finals. Otherwise, Turtley definitely with an advantage, looking extremely solid going into map number 2.
Yeah, we'll see what Yi decides to pick for his choice of the second map that we go into for the series. Like I mentioned, TurtlyP up ahead 1-0, and also like you mentioned, you know, just get the weird NLEX8 map out of the way. Like, if you're gonna take the mental damage from that, just take it at the start and just like, alright, you know what, this one's bad, it's a mulligan, I'll just take the rest of these maps, because it's okay to mess up on one of them as long as you're fully confident in your other 4. That's why there's a whole map pool, as we're gonna go into SN10 here.
This is where the bans are going to start having to come real here for Turtley, because Yi had a really solid SN-10 earlier on as well. So if Turtley was watching, he would know that this is going to be a map that actual bans are going to have to come through. Yi with an incredibly fast clear on SN-10 that didn't even use Lappy. So the safe Lappy ban here coming through first for Yi, removing a very, very vital clearing operator that many people use in SN-10.
Looks like Turtley might be kicking things off with the you can ban operators, Yi, but I think I'm just better at the meta overall. As it looks like, again, Yi's going for these more speed of kills, but I mean, I think Turtley is just going to go for like the full meta picks from what it looks like. Oh, never mind, there is actually a Rosa ban there.
Rosa is still really solid, right? I don't remember if it was Yi that was using Rosa in this stage earlier. I could have sworn I saw somebody doing it. But Yi's going to continue banning some of these meta operators here. It is going to be Texas the Omertosa getting banned. Scotty the Corrupting Heart will also get taken out here by TurtlyP. So we are mixing it up a little bit. This might genuinely be one of the more serious ban phases that we are seeing from both of our players. As Mizuki also gets banned. Strategy-wise, both of these two players, I don't think they're completely phased just yet. These last couple bans definitely going to be a little bit of a nail-biter, as we have to see if it's actually going to vitally impact the strategies of these two at all.
There's an Eben ban. That is not surprising. We've seen what Eben does to bosses, and especially a multi-phase boss like this one, where Eben has the time to just recharge the scale, just go boop. You know, that is not a surprising one here. And there's an Ethan ban. Again, Ethan, if I remember right, it's the S2. I mean, S1 and S2 both can have a chance of binding the enemy in place. So, again, Specialist ban, Ambusher bans coming out from the side of Yi. So a full, like, no more meme bans coming out from Yi. Yi is going in. As TurtlyP is going for 3, maybe 4 proper bans. And for some reason, it's a mini ban.
Well, one last ban available here for TurtlyP. Remember, Yi was the one that brought the Vigil earlier on into SN-10 to use those wolves to very solid advantages when it comes to positioning some of those nether brands. But it is going to be that Swire to finish us off in typical TurtlyP fashion. And that is the 10 bans going in towards SN-10. We will see if Yi is able to usurp the powerhouse that is going to be TurtlyP to maybe take it back as a 1-1 match in this best of 5, or will it be TurtlyP taking the one step further up in towards that victory as a 2-0 and setting match point up against Yi?
Yeah, we'll take a look here as drafting phase should be loading here in a second. We'll see what TurtlyP has cooked up with the meta clear, because, I mean, look at the amount of options that TurtlyP still has available. You have between Luinar, you got Surtur, you have Ifrit, you have Saran if you want to barbecue a fish, right? I mean, or is it deep fry in this case? Maybe deep fry fish. But I mean, like you mentioned with the Vigil ban, I don't think the Vigil ban would have particularly done anything, because you have other TAC Vanguards between, like, Beanstalk and Black Knight, right? So it's like, I don't think that ban would have done anything. So I think TurtlyP was just like, forget it, I'll just open up the meta for myself again. As TurtlyP with the faster load time, and TurtlyP is into the match, or into the map, a bit faster than Yi is here, as the setup is coming through.
Yeah, not too much of a difference though. We do have almost the near exact same strategy that we actually saw from Yi up against a Fang coming through to fruition here again. We do have the Flame Tail as the main DPS source towards the right side, and it is going to be that Vigil coming down yet again for Yi. So a lot of really solid plans that we are seeing coming out from Yi, and the question really comes down now is TurtlyP. Can he actually hold up against what Yi has in store? Because we know that Yi's strategy works. The question is, can TurtlyP just do it better and faster here in SN-10?
Well, as of right now, TurtlyP does have the 2-kill advantage over Yi, but Yi is catching up quite quickly. Just the 2-kill advantage. That one brand guider still sitting there, as there he goes, as this brand gets wiped there. There is one brand that didn't quite get wiped. I'm not sure how much it's going to affect TurtlyP's strat here, as the brand does spread, but TurtlyP does still have more hands in the Saints.
I think it was actually slightly a mistake there from TurtlyP, because there are kill gates. There's several kill gates in the stage, and TurtlyP just missed one, which is the reason why now Yi is actually caught up, maybe even slightly ahead of TurtlyP right now. Not killing that Mega Sage, the really difficult one to kill on the top left side, definitely slowed down TurtlyP's run here, and this could theoretically be the chance for Yi to come back. We'll see how the rest of the stage gets played out here for Yi, but again, the strategy works, and it's extremely quick. Perfect timing on the skill to knock down phase 3 for the end speaker, and Yi is just absolutely blazing through SN-10 as TurtlyP also trying to join in on the fray. But look at this, Schwar is knocking down that tree. That is not going to be an issue whatsoever. The 2 pillars are down on the ground. Yi is perfectly handling every single one of these kill gates on SN-10.
Yi is actually pulled ahead at this point. TurtlyP is a good bit behind. It just depends on whose damage comes in quicker, as it looks like Yi is okay, I was like, he's sneaking through a little bit there, but no, he just got absolutely shredded at the end there, as this map appears to be Yi's to lose now. 1 kill each on both of them, and Yi takes it a split second ahead of TurtlyP.
Beautiful. My goodness, the health bar on end speaker phase 4 just completely shredded at the end there. And again, this is why I said Yi has a strategy. We saw it working, and it's one of the reasons why I was actually scared when TurtlyP started banning out some of these weirder operators, because you need to hit the vital parts of Yi. Maybe even the Flame Tail ban would have been something way more important than the Vigil I was talking about. But the past is the past. They are both tied up. Yi 1 and TurtlyP 1. The map pick will go around towards TurtlyP, and we have a series on our hands, Wookie.
Yeah, I'm sensing, Shuvi, that we are gonna go all the way for this one. But like you mentioned, what hit TurtlyP the hardest was that missed kill on the kind of old man looking guy that I can't forget the name of. But that was,
we'll call him the Sage. Why not?
yeah, let's go with that. As we're about to load into MBEX8 here, but yeah, that one was the one. It was that kill gate that just completely wiped TurtlyP's advantage that he had over Yi and allowed Yi to sneak back in and steal the map right out from under him.
That's the small kind of mistakes. This is the grand finals. Mistakes, you cannot afford to make them anymore. We saw how devastating the mistake from Yi was during the first map that we saw. NLEXA, you wipe once, well, probably not going to have a chance to come back here. But in MBEX8, we're going to see the return of Jesselton. I think this is the third time we are going to be seeing him here tonight. And wield the mechanics, because Yi was one of the players that surprised us with the mechanics that we saw to clear out some of those enemies on the right side. Will TurtlyP have something very similar to try to deal with that as Gladia gets banned out here, Rosa getting banned out here as well. Just really making it difficult for those right side enemies to start getting taken down.
Yeah, Yi's probably going for a full Fortress Defender ban because of those enemies in that middle section, right? We saw what happened to Everick there, where Everick finished the map almost earlier, but those last two operators, or those last two enemies at the far right side in the middle just didn't get taken out, which allowed Yi to catch back up, as that is a Chongyue ban coming in, and a Fartooth ban coming in on the side of Yi. So lots of range and AoE options still being taken off the field here.
Yeah, and I think with Yi banning out the Fartooth, he's kind of throwing his hands in the air and saying, I give up on trying to completely knock down the entire right side, because Gladia and Rosa was banned at the same time. So this might just be a standard clear here on MBEX8. And with Chongyue also being banned, this is definitely a target ban against Yi. Both Zafeng and Yi absolutely utilizing Chongyue to the fullest potential here tonight. And with TurtlyP saying this might actually be a difficult series for me to win if I lose MBEX8, I'm going to be banning it out here instead.
Yeah, as that is a Fia ban and a Reed Alter ban as the other two bans coming in. I believe Horn is still available, so there is still a Fortress Defender available here. So that middle section might not necessarily come into play like it did against Everick, but I think the Reed Alter ban is going to be a bit sneaky here because the S3, the explosion range, does trigger onto other enemies, so it gives you that more extended range that you think you might not have. As here we go into the drafting phase.
Indeed. Boy Kissers Yi, as well as IRS TurtlyP, the third game of the best of 5. Whoever wins this one will be on match point over the other. The absolute advantage in this stage of the ARKNIGHTS Challengers. Ladies and gentlemen, again, give it up to these two players because they have been playing their hearts and souls out tonight. They have a couple more games to go for these two, and this is the third game. A couple more to go, and they will start it off. The draft selection begins, and here we go.
Like I said, though, look at TurtlyP immediately going for that Horn pick. Saw that she wasn't banned. Is like, ooh, range. As here we go. TurtlyP going in with that, what was that, 7 operators? Look at that quick start from TurtlyP. We did see the quick start from TurtlyP previously, but it's going to depend on if TurtlyP will miss the kill gate again. Because if you miss the kill gate, I mean, it doesn't matter how far up ahead you are if the wave just doesn't spawn.
Here for Yi as well, starting a little bit late. I think Yi caught on that TurtlyP was starting super early, and he just said, let's go for a safer clear here, right? Because Yi was about to start going into the stage, but then as soon as TurtlyP entered the stage, he went back in towards the operator selection, so maybe he's keeping tabs of what his enemy is able to do. I don't know if, of course, the Discord lobby itself allows for that, but if that was the case, I think it's a good idea. You're just banking on the fact that there's a potential for TurtlyP to make a mistake. It's either that, or you just have more utility to try to deal with the right side, and maybe keep it as a faster clear, and try to use that as a makeup potential for whatever time you're missing by starting a little bit later.
Yeah, if you go for that kind of, like, if you see them load in that much quicker, but you see them take less operators, you know you have that extra, you have that kind of leeway where, oh no, it is Yi who actually messes up. as Turtley now has a commanding advantage now. That is very concerning.
Yeah, that's the second time he's done it in this series, and mistakes are starting to mount up. It might not be a best of 3. If this was a best of 3, that's the decider right there. But luckily for Yi, he is going to have another chance. Turtley looking extremely solid, using the posi to knock down Jesselton, and there he goes. The rest of the stage is not that hard. It's just the fact that they all spawn on the right side. But with how commanding of a lead Turtley has, this should not be an issue whatsoever.
Yeah, now it's just kind of a waiting game for Turtley, but Turtley kind of does have all the time in the world as the enemies start slowly scooching their way up. The middle part is not a problem for Turtley between Exia and Horde. It's just these last couple enemies around the bottom and the top side, but there's an Infinite Animus theme both ready to go here, as coming down to the last 7 enemies for Turtley here, as Yi is trying to do his best to catch up, but it is looking like Yi is going to be able to pick the next map as Turtley takes it, setting up match point here with the 2-1 lead over Yi.
Now all the cards are on the side of Turtley. Yi, the only card he has left in his hand is the next map pick for himself. This is going to come down to the wire for him. If he is able to take away whichever map is going to be next, it is going to be a tie. Match point for both of the players. There is no more sudden death left unless okay. You know what? I tried setting the story up. It's not going to work because the potential's still there for a sudden death. But between these two players, let's be real. Is that happening? Not really.
So let's not speak a sudden death into existence as Yi goes with WREX6. I know this one's one of the ones that Yi kind of likes to just go all, just let it go on. Same with Turtley's. We'll see if they go with that. Or if this one, they're like, no, I'm going to start banning all your specialists, I'm going to start banning all your AoE options, I'm going to start banning Chongyue, and we'll see what happens here as we open up the community ban.
Yeah, I'm actually scared here for Yi because if anything, if what we saw during WREX6 during the 2 Boy Kissers match kind of stands in this one, Yi's typical clear strategy is actually a lot slower than what you would normally see just using the standard Irene. And Turtley has been seen using the Irene strat in WREX6 before, so unless Yi is willing to pick up that strategy and just say, let's Hail Mary, I need to go to the 5th map, I'm a little bit worried here for Yi. His strategy is a lot slower than what the standard strategy is gonna go for, and it's standard for a reason. It is extremely quick in knocking down those blindies towards the end, which is almost the real game breaker and the deal breaker there for a lot of our matchups in WREX6.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of that AoE. So Chongyue is being taken out here. Texas the Omertosa being taken out here. As specialists are being banned on the side of Yi, the ambushers, as Turtley is just going no mercy with these bans, taking out meta. As wonder what Turtley has cooked up here. Irene's still available. Fireballs will get it banned here.
Oof, this is going to be tough. I think Yi could have definitely made do with an Irene ban just to throw away Turtley. Saving that ban for a last as well would definitely make Turtley have to reconsider his options. But no, it's not going to be the case. And this definitely, in my opinion, puts Yi on the back end. He has to do a lot of work in the next few seconds before the match itself begins in order to pull this back, go for the 2-2, and maybe have a chance at still taking this away. But, ladies and gentlemen, Boy Kisser Yi and IRS Turtley. Oh man, match point for Turtley. Final game potentially brewing in the works for these two players. WREX6 is the map. The bans are at the bottom of the screen, guys. Turtley, will he be able to take it away, or will Yi live to see another match?
We'll see here as Kirara and Manticore are both available for both sides to pick, which is what I'm assuming they're going to go for. Both sides raring to go with a quick select. All right, here they go. We have Silent Texas, and looks like Chen is available. Irene immediately going for by Turtley here. As we're going to see who has the faster load time, because wave clears are a thing as Turtley loads in about a couple seconds ahead of Yi here, which might prove critical assuming all the kill gates are hit on time. Irene going down immediately for that SP gen.
Oh, this could be problematic here, but the thing is, you do see a Weedy coming out, I believe, for Turtley. And if you see a Weedy coming out in a stage like this, especially when all of the center tiles are going to be covered with operators, you typically have Weedy in the backside dealing damage when the enemy actually gets to that point. And if Yi is able to make up the amount of time that he lost by coming into the stage late by not letting enemies pass that gate at all, this could theoretically be a chance for him to catch back up in a little minute seconds worthy of time in the stage, and that might be the little difference that he really needs to start making up for the lack of speed that he went going into the stage. We'll see.
Well, something that Yi does have right now is having Irene and Horn there versus TurtlyP only having Irene for the most part for that kind of AoE damage. Like, yes, there is an Elysium and a Psylocke there to slow them down, but I think Yi has a better chance of catching up at the very end because of that extra Horn damage at the back there.
Problem is, he's pretty far behind right now. He's about a wave behind on the enemy stack at the moment. He's out of operators to use. He's gonna use Irene now, and it does start spawning the blindies a little bit faster, but the shuffles have already begun on the side of TurtlyP. He is about half a wave behind. Again, he is catching up very, very slightly, but he's still on the back end of this right now. The real test, I think, is going to begin when the red blindies come through, because those are the real DPS checkers when it comes to a stage like this. Ooh, this is going to come absolutely down to the wire, Wookie.
Yes, we'll see what happens here as TurtlyP does. The red blinds are on the field for TurtlyP, but they are not on the field for Yi yet. Yi is going to have to hope that TurtlyP's kill takes longer because of that Weedy setup. Yi has way more damage locked up here, but it just depends on when the blindies start moving in, as the shuffle is slowly beginning. Both Irenes are fully charged, neither side opting to use the Irene skill because you want that extra charge. First wave of blindies going in for TurtlyP, as it is now 38, 39 on each side. Blindy spawn first on the side of TurtlyP.
Timing is perfect on Horn here, but the problem is the enemies are spawning on the side of TurtlyP. Irene is set up here too. I think this might be it. Yi, I think he's gonna be knocked out. It doesn't come down to TurtlyP. I think it does. He uses a skill, and it is going to be the 3-1 victory here for TurtlyP. That last skill usage from the Weedy is just barely enough to net him the 3-1, and that is going to be our champion, our grand finals victor for the ARKNIGHTS Challengers #2. Congratulations to TurtlyP, and well done to Yi. A 3-1 victory on the side of Team IRS, and the golden age has begun for them, as the next month the champions of ARKNIGHTS Challengers will be held by the one and only IRS.
IRS has claimed the crown, and it will be